Hi guys, my name is Rajan and you're watching Lens Watch. So today I have the biggest smartphone cameras of 2024. This is the Vivo X200 Pro and this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm gonna put them against in every scenarios, portrait, selfies, zoom, video, and wide angle shots. So let's see whose camera processing is better. iPhone provides a natural skin tones while the other hand Vivo provides a still a little processed skin tones in my opinion. So let's see whose camera is better. Let's dive into the comparison.
Hey everyone, I hope you are all doing great. Today I've got three incredible phones: the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, iPhone 16 Pro Max, and Vivo X200 Pro. So these are some of the top contenders for the title of the best camera phone of 2024. In this video, I'll be doing an in-depth, detailed camera comparison to help you decide which one is right for you and which offers the best value for your money. I specialize in exclusive, in-depth camera comparison right here on my YouTube channel, so you won't find content like this anywhere else. So do subscribe the channel and let's just dive into the video now. So right off the bat, you can see the 16 Pro Max on the right is too much warm here for my taste, and it's not looking realistic and true to life. So being a photographer, I want my pictures to be have little colors and the perfect amount of details, and obviously the dynamic range should be good. The 16 Pro Max has good dynamic range, and but I think it's looking too much warm, and the color temperature could have been better, just like the X200 Pro here on the left. If we zoom into the pictures, you can see the skin colors on the 16 Pro Max looks a little much like a little too much, warmth, yellowish kind of tint on the 16 Pro Max, while on the X200 Pro, it's looking so much better. And this time I was really surprised. The X200 Pro has nailed the color temperature on the Zeiss natural mode. You guys, if you guys have X200 Pro, you should know like the how good the colors are on the Zeiss natural mode. I stopped using vivid mode, and the X200 Pro is really taking really good shots as the Zeiss natural mode. And also look at the trees here at the back. It's too much washed out on the 16 Pro Max for my taste, and the while on the X200 Pro, it's looking much better, and the colors are like looking really good. The greens are there of the trees, and also you can see at the bushes here, the greens are very paled, and look, the colors are washed out. I think the colors could have been much better on the 16 Pro Max, and obviously you can look at the top here on the X200 Pro. I think there is a slight problem with the X200 Pro. The algorithm it takes with it really crushes down the blacks here, and it put some purple kind of tint on the black. So I think it will get fixed with future updates on the X200 Pro, but right now the blacks are looking much better on the iPhone 16 Pro Max here. Again, you can see a little magenta tint here on the X200 Pro. It's not looking good, but still overall I would prefer the X200 Pro picture here because of the better skin tones, better detail, and better the trees here. Overall the picture is looking much better. Also you can look at this sun here, the sun, it's looking much better here at the back, while on the 16 Pro Max it's looking little washed out. So let's take a look into more picture now. So again, this is a shot on 1x, and you can see the model here, and the colors, again the colors are slightly boosted on the X200 Pro, and the iPhone has kept it very raw, and it looks very unedited, which is good for post processing or editing. But let's just look at the key differences here that we can see that will help us to differentiate which is better. Right off the bat, just if I just zoom into the picture, you can look at the watch here, while on the other hand, if I just look at the iPhone here, the watch is not that much detail, and it's little blown out. You can see it's not that much focused, and also if you look at the flowers here, it looks very dead to me, I guess. Like, it's not looking good. It could have been slightly saturated, but if you look at the Vivo, it's looking really good and nice. I like the colors here on the flowers on the X200 Pro. Let's just look at the skin tones now, and you guys decide which do you feel it's looking better, the X200 Pro skin tones on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Obviously the 16 Pro Max has kept it again very true to life and natural, but I don't know why, but I prefer the X200 Pro's little boosted skin tones. It's not looking like it's not looking over, and it's looking somewhere in the middle, which is ideal for me. You can look at the lips here. The lipstick looks good, and while on the 16 Pro Max, the lipstick's not there, and it's looking very less saturated, which is not my taste. And also the skin tones are looking much better from the far on the X1 Pro, and I also like these the dress here on the X200 Pro. So for me, the X200 Pro is looking better here in this picture than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I would like to know your guys' review on this picture. You can also look at the stand here on the on the X200 Pro. It's looking much better and like realistic than the 16 Pro Max. So for me, the X200 Pro is looking much better. Let's take a look into the more picture now. So here we took a shot at wide angle, and you can see that the three of these pictures have almost same focal length. I can say that the 16 Pro Max looks the widest to me, and maybe it's sort of around 13 mm. But let's just take a look at the colors here. So right off the bat, you can see the 16 Pro Max captures very contrasty wide angle shots. The skin tones look a little bit too much yellow. It's looking good. I think the colors are looking good here on the 16 Pro Max. The stones are looking good, and the details are very nice on the 16 Pro Max. But on the other hand, the S24 Ultra captures the most detailed wide angle shot right now. You can see the details are looking the best on the S24 Ultra. The model, the tree here at the back, the jacket, everything is looking perfect. And while on the X200 Pro, I don't know, maybe something wrong with the processing here, but the X200 Pro looks the most less detailed shot. It's very soft. And if you look at the back here also, the tree is not looking good. It's too much washed out for my taste, and also the skin tones is not looking good. It's kind of off, like. But I think, in my opinion, the S24 Ultra here captures the best wide angle shot, and it's looking really good. And you can see the details here. It's looking very nice. It's very detailed. If you zoom in also, you can see the details are very good. So for me, the S24 Ultra looking the best here, and on the other hand, the 16 Pro Max is close second. It's looking very nice too. So the S24 Ultra and 16 Pro Max both are looking very nice, but the X200 Pro here is lacking that contrast and details. So let's take a look into the more pictures. So here we can see one of the fewer instances where the 16 Pro Max has nailed the color temperature and the skin colors as well. I think, in my opinion, the S24 Ultra is too much dim, and like too much less contrast, and the brightness is not there. I think it is trying to capture the clouds here at the back. It's making them blue again, and the dynamic range is good on the S24 Ultra, but it's too much less brightened in my taste. And on the X200 Pro here on the right, it's like too much overexposed. I don't know, maybe there is some focusing or brightening issues on the X200 Pro. It's overexposed and it's not looking good. So the 16 Pro Max, you can see the color of the jacket, the top, and the skin tones, everything is looking perfect here. While on the S24 Ultra on the left, it's looking too much less brightened and less saturated shot. If someone likes less saturated, so you can go with the S24 Ultra, but for my taste as a photographer, I would go with the 16 Pro Max here any day. It's looking good. So let's take a look into more pictures now. So here again we have captured the pictures on 1x, and right off the bat you can see the S24 Ultra in the middle. It's looking perfect here. I think the skin tones of the model and the color temperature also at the back, everything is looking like top of the notch. While on the X200 Pro on the right, it's looking too much contrasty, and also the skin tones have been ruined, I think. But on these left, the iPhone 16 Pro Max again washed out. The colors are not that much saturated, and I think it's good for color post processing, but in my opinion it's too much washed out. But the details are nice on the 16 Pro Max, I would say. It's very sharp, and I think the most detailed picture out of the three here is the 16 Pro Max here. The color could have been a little much better on the 16 Pro Max, but for my taste, the S24 Ultra is looking the best here. The skin tones are looking perfect. I think a little too much reddish, but I think it's better of the two here. Let's just take a look at the X200 Pro here. The details are very nice. You can see the hair, little hair strands here, but I would say the skin tones are also nice. But at the back, you can see at the trees, the trees very much contrasty and dark. It's not looking good. The dynamic range could have been better on the X200 Pro. So for my taste, S24 Ultra looks the best here. And let's take a look into the more picture now. So here we have got three phones side by side. So this is on the left we have S24 Ultra, and on the right corner we have the 16 Pro Max. So right off the bat, you can see the X200 Pro is the most saturated out of the three, and S24 Ultra is like too much dull. I don't know what's wrong with the S24 Ultra, but it's looking too much dull. And this time it was around 5 p.m, so it was kind of dusk. The light was not much there, and in my opinion, the best the best picture looks of the 16 Pro Max because of the natural and bitter grass colors, I guess, and also it's looking the most natural and realistic shot. It was not that much blue on, like, as shown on the S24 Ultra. The sky here looks too much blue on the S24 Ultra, which is not true to life. It was somewhere like the X200 Pro here, but I think the X200 Pro is looking too much vivid for my taste. It's looking too much saturated, and iPhone has kept the colors very true to life and natural. And also, if I zoom in, I think the X1 Pro has captured the most details here. You can also look at the grass, the details, and the stones here looks like the most detailed, and also the river, the pond. But on the 16 Pro Max, the details are also nice and sharp, crisp. But obviously, let's just look at the S24 Ultra. Yeah, the details are not there. I think it's too much, smoothen out. The details are not much there on the S24 Ultra. So for this picture, the 16 Pro Max looks the best here for landscape shot. Let's take a look into the more pictures to get a better idea. So here we took a shot at 1x, and I wanted to see how the colors of the flowers look on each of these devices. So this picture will help you guys to decide if you like clicking pictures of flowers, forest, greeneries, gardens, etc. So let's just take a look how these phones capture the green. So first of all, in my opinion, the green looks the best on the S24 Ultra. On the left, you can see the greens are very authentic and true to life. Let's just talk about the 16 Pro Max in the middle here, and it has literally washed out the greens as well as the yellows. I think it's like literally looking washed out. There are no colors to it, and I don't know if it's even true to life here, but I don't know, like, even the yellows here on the flower looks overexposed and not that much defined. You can see on the right we have the X200 Pro here, which is the perfect amount of colors in it. The yellow looks good. Also the details and the exposure, the dynamic range, everything looks top of the notch here on the X200 Pro here. But I prefer the greens on the S24 Ultra. But I prefer, on the other hand, I prefer the colors of the flowers on the X200 Pro. Let's just not talk about the 16 Pro Max here, because it has just ruined the mood of the picture. Also, the depth of the picture is also not looking good. So I think the 16 Pro Max is not that great for capturing flowers anymore. It was before, but I don't know what what problem this phone has with this color processing. To me, the best picture looks of the S24 Ultra here, with the perfect amount of the greens and the yellows. But I would also like to give a very, like, the X100 Pro is also doing a very good job here. So the X100 Pro is very close to the S24 Ultra. The iPhone 16 Pro, the 16 Pro Max is not even in the competition right now. So let's just take a look into more pictures. So this is a zoom shot, and right off the bat you can see that the X200 Pro on the right has the best amount of details in it, and the details, the dynamic range, everything looking the best on the X200 Pro on the right. This time Vivo X200 Pro has nailed the zoom shot. Maybe the S25 Ultra will be better than the X200 Pro, we will see. But right now the X200 Pro is the leading zoom, but takes the best zoom shots. I think the Find X8 Pro takes a little better than the X200 Pro, but obviously the Find X8 Pro has little problems with on the other scenarios. But right now the X200 Pro is looking the best. Let's take a look and zoom here. On the S24 Ultra, it's looking like completely less detailed shot. Also the 16 Pro Max is not looking that much good. It's looking the worst here. There is so much noise here in the picture, and I don't know when iPhones will take good zoom shots. Right now the X1 Pro is looking the best here. I think the processing and the AI is taking out the noise here, but it's doing the best job here on zoom. So I will give this win to the X200 Pro here. The S24 Ultra is very close, but I think it needs more improvements. So let's take a look into the more picture. So I have been saying this for a long time, and I'm gonna say that again, that iPhone takes the best selfie shots here. The colors, the skin tones, the dynamic range, everything is like the best on the iPhone. And I think the close second will be the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra that I have, and also the Pixel 9 Pro XL also takes good selfies. But this 24 Ultra is also taking really good selfies here. But there's something wrong with the Vivo X200 Pro. It really ruins the skin tones, the colors, the dynamic range, and the picture looks really dead to me. I think it could have added much more saturation and much more details in the shot. The details are nice. I think it's looking slight, smoothen out, and the iPhone takes the most detailed, crisp selfies in my opinion. And the S24 Ultra on the right also looking really good. It has very good details. You can literally see the wrinkles and everything here on the S24 Ultra, and also the lips. The textures are very good, but in my opinion, there is, you can see the details here at the back. It's looking little, softened out, and there is little noise in the picture. But on the iPhone, you can see everything. It's very crisp, detailed, and obviously iPhone is the best selfie king here for me. So no doubt I will give this win to the iPhone straight away. Let's take a look into more picture now. So here we have took the shot on 1x at night, and I wanted to see like how the lightning here, the dynamic range, and also the colors of the picture, like which phone captures the best. To my taste, the S24 Ultra is too much dark, and the dynamic range is not there. I think it's the darkest shot out of the three, and the brightest shot obviously is the X200 Pro here on the right. And you can look at the picture here, it's very sharp, and you can also see the water here falling down here, while on the S24 Ultra it's completely pitched black. It's not there. On the iPhone 16 Pro Max it's also there. It's looking good and nice. The colors are very good on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I would say it's the ideal color for this picture, but I really prefer the X200 Pro here on the right. I think it captures the best, the moment, the mood of the shot. Also the colors of the pillar here are the best on the X200 Pro, but on the iPhone it's very realistic. It's true to life, but to my taste, it's the details are much better on the X200 Pro. Here you can see here the everything. You can see the details here, the water details, the grass details. Let's just take a look into the iPhone now. There is too much noise here on the iPhone shot, and the crack here also not looking good. So I think the processing of the X200 Pro makes it look much better, and Vivo has been doing really great with the nice shots lately. So we would let's just take a look more into nice shots to get more idea. So here we took the shot on 1x, and you can see these three pictures here. The iPhone 16 Pro Max at the middle looks the most washed out, but the colors I think are nice on the 16 Pro Max. It's very realistic, but let's just zoom into the picture now. And if you zoom into the picture, you can see the details here of the three of these shots. The X200 Pro, I don't know, maybe there's a focusing issue, but it looks the smoothest here out of the three. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has nice amount of details here on the object, but I think the best amount of detail has is of the S24 Ultra. Let's just take a look into the colors now. I think the colors here look the best on the X200 Pro, in my opinion. You can take a look into the pillar here. The light looks the best on the X200 Pro. It's looking very warm, and also the dynamic range of the light is looking the best here on the X200 Pro. While on the other hand, the S24 Ultra has the most weirdest color at night. You can see the sky is looking a little purple here, which is not true to life. While on the other hand, on the other two pictures, it's looking the best. It's looking better, and for me, the best picture is the X200 Pro here, because of the colors here. The colors look the best. The right amount of warmth is there, and it has the best colors of the jacket as well. The jacket is looking the best here on the X200 Pro. The 16 Pro Max is also looking good for those who like less saturated, and but I think the 16 Pro Max has the most palest and whitest skin tone, which is not true to life. I think the best skin tones are on the X200 Pro here in the picture. So I think the best shot here is the X200 Pro. So let's take a look into the more picture now. So to get more clarity, which phone takes the best nice shot, this is a wide angle shot here, and right off the bat you can see the 16 Pro Max here at the middle looks the dimmest, and literally you can't see anything here on the the stones here are not there, and it's completely pitched black. While on the S24 Ultra you can see somewhat, but S24 Ultra has ruined the color temperature of the photo. While on the X200 Pro here, it's again very saturated, boosted, but obviously very detailed as well. So let me just zoom into the picture, and you can see here the stones here looks perfectly visible on the X200 Pro, but on the iPhone 16 Pro Max you can't see anything here. And also the S24 Ultra you can see, but there is too much noise here for my taste. And let's just look at the monument here, and I think the colors look very good on the 16 Pro Max here, but it's not detailed and completely washed out. And the details is like literally 0% on the 16 Pro Max, but on the X200 Pro it's like doing a much better job. So I think in my opinion the X200 Pro looks the best here on the right. And although the colors are realistic on the 16 Pro Max, but it's not detailed, and the dynamic ranges could have been better. So I would give this win to X200 Pro here. And obviously the S24 Ultra looks slightly better to me. The 16 Pro Max here looks the worst to me. So let's take a look into more picture. This time, I tested 4K cinematic video on both phones. While Vivo's vibrant footage stand out with rich saturation and contrast, it often feels overly processed, losing their natural tonal balance. The iPhone excels with accurate color science, the dynamic range, and lifelike hues, maintaining its position as the gold standard for videography. A less post-processed look from the X200 Pro could make it a serious contender, but for now, the iPhone remains the undisputed king of the cinematic video. In the 13 comparisons featured in this video, the X200 Pro emerged as a leader in 6 categories, while the iPhone 16 Pro Max won 4. The S24 Ultra secured 3 wins out of 10 in the photo-specific camera comparisons between these three devices, showcasing its capabilities in specific scenarios. Overall, the X200 Pro stands out as the most versatile for photography, offering advanced settings and more customization options. Meanwhile, the iPhone 16 Pro Max retained its crown for video, excelling in dynamic range and cinematic output. If you're into creative photography, the X1 Pro offers more flexibility, while the iPhone 16 Pro Max shines as a straightforward top-tier point-and-shoot choice. Part 2 of this comparison will release soon. Do subscribe the channel and Happy New Year.